you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Where my family is from, Puerto Rico is trash. We are Americans, Donald Trump. We voluntarily serve disproportionately high in the military, while you have bone spurs. And we vote. Pennsylvania is home to almost 500,000 Puerto Ricans. North Carolina, 115,000. Georgia, 100,000. Arizona, 64,000. Wisconsin, 61,000. Michigan, 43,000. Nevada, 27,000. We vote Donald Trump. Trash?
Guys, welcome to Bloom, another episode on self-love and how to love yourself. Maybe if you're struggling with self-love, there is something that you can learn from the Latino community and how they reacted to the insults. And
leaving the hotel, there was a woman there, and she started talking to me about this rally. And I said to her, "Are you Puerto Rican?" And she said to me, "No, but today we are all Puerto Ricans."
Great.
And so I want to say, and he didn't just make jokes about Puerto Ricans.
No, he did.
He made jokes about blacks.
Yep.
You know, the whole trope about watermelons. He made jokes, a vile joke about Latinos that we can't even put on daytime TV.
Yep.
So today we are all in this together. And I'm going to say this particularly to my Latino community. If Trump asking for the death penalty for 5 young men of color, black and Latino, the exonerated 5 wasn't enough for you. If Trump getting investigated for refusing to rent to black people wasn't enough for you. If Trump promoting a racist trope against the first black president with the birtherism wasn't enough for you. If Trump calling Mexicans rapists and criminals and bad hombres wasn't enough for you. If Trump calling us vermin, invaders, people who poison the blood of this country wasn't enough for you.
if you want to get somebody's vote, you really want to have them remember good things that you did for them and feel good. You want them to feel good right? And I think this is where it backfired. You know, he wanted people to have probably a good time. It's election, have fun, and vote at the expense of Latinos. Latinos are like, no, not at our expense. Okay? So now they're remembering everything else Trump said.
If Trump throwing paper towels at people in need after Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico wasn't enough for you.
Even when he was president of the United States, a lot of us were looking at him disrespect our family members on the island because he did not want to assist them. Remember?
You, Puerto Rico, but you've thrown our budget a little out of whack.
160 mile per hour sustained winds barrels towards Puerto Rico. President Trump sounding annoyed. Wow, yet another big storm heading to Puerto Rico. Will it ever end? Hurricane Maria, the deadliest storm for Americans in more than a century.
He tweeted from his golf club saying Puerto Ricans want everything to be done for them.
We are dying, and you are killing us with the inefficiency.
The president calling Puerto Rico one of the most corrupt places on earth.
Puerto Rico may have no electricity for months to come. 3,000 people died as a result of the hurricane. President Trump tweeted 3,000 people did not die.
If Trump saying immigrants have made this country into the trash can of the world wasn't enough for you, then maybe, just maybe, this comedian handpicked, chosen, vetted by the Trump campaign because he reflects what Trump has said his entire lifetime. Maybe that will be enough for you. And on November 5th, I want you to vote for your heritage and your traditions and your identity. I want you to vote with dignity and self-respect. Latinos, comunidad, si ustedes tienen respeto por sí mismos, si tienen dignidad, defiendan esa dignidad y usen sus votos el 5 de noviembre para sacar a Donald Trump.
Yes. They are saying that we are going to respond to this on the ballot, on the voting day. So, I don't know how this is going to affect the election. Like, if Trump was winning by a landslide, then this would not matter, right? Then it doesn't matter what he says about Latino, because he's if he has, like, let's say 90% of white people's votes, then he wouldn't care about what Latinos do. right? He'd probably still win. But the problem is, most polls are saying that, especially in the key battleground states like Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin, they are like razor thin, and these are battleground states. Like, unless he has like a landslide there, this could impact the elections.
Why are Republicans so nervous about the comments made at this Trump rally at Madison Square Garden? Well, it's because they targeted the very people in one of the very places that they need the most. I'm talking about the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Remember, Pennsylvania is a place Joe Biden won by just 81,000 votes in 2020. Donald Trump won by just 44,000 votes in 2016. It's close. A joke about Puerto Ricans, okay? In Pennsylvania, there are around 600,000 Latino voters. In Pennsylvania, there are around 300,000 Puerto Rican voters. One thing you will notice about both of these numbers, they are way higher than 81,000. That was the margin in Pennsylvania last time. Pennsylvania has the third highest Puerto Rican population in the country. And it's not just the number, it's where they are in the state.
We're not laughing. 6 million Puerto Ricans in the U.S., the second largest population of Latinos in the U.S., are not laughing.
They're coming with numbers. They're like 6 million voters, right? Those are,
Laughing. Mexicanos, Colombianos, Hondureños, Salvadoreños, and every nationality represented here from every Latin American country are not laughing. In fact, all 65 million Latinos living in the U.S. don't think it's funny what was said last night at the Trump rally. And
the thing, it doesn't matter whether it was meant as a joke. They don't think it funny as a joke, and you cannot gaslight them into you can't take a joke, only a narcissist can do that.
Let's make one thing clear. His campaign began in 2016, declaring war against all Latinos by calling all Latinos rapists and murderers. And suddenly, every racist person in America found their leader.
You see, now people are remembering what Trump said in the past. Again, people don't forget how you make them feel. They don't forget how you make them feel.
They no longer have to hide behind the keyboard. Now they have a voice, and they can say what they really think of all Latinos. And this leader gave them a voice like he did last night at Madison Square Garden. We're not garbage, rapists, murderers. We're teachers, doctors, attorneys, journalists, and yes, farm workers. We are generations of sweat and tears that has made the U.S. what the country is today. Our presence is everywhere. Schools, hospitals, courts, restaurants, hotels. And you would not be eating that plate of food without a Latino first pick those fruits and vegetables. Oh, and one more thing. Latinos, we can also vote.
The first thing that people who love themselves do is they are going to tell you, no, I am not whatever thing that you have insulted me. And here you see that. She goes aside and say, like, I am shinier than garbage. We are lawyers, we are teachers, we are farm workers. That's the first thing. Like, if somebody insults you, you have to say, hey, I am not garbage. That's what self-respecting people do. They stand up for themselves.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Where my family is from, Puerto Rico is trash. We are Americans, Donald Trump. We voluntarily serve disproportionately high in the military, while you have bone spurs. And we vote. Pennsylvania is home to almost 500,000 Puerto Ricans. North Carolina, 115,000. Georgia, 100,000. Arizona, 64,000. Wisconsin, 61,000. Michigan, 43,000. Nevada, 27,000. We vote Donald Trump. Trash. And by the way, Jennifer Lopez, Ricky Martin, Bad Bunny, Luis Fonsi, and Mark Anthony have over 345 million followers on Instagram. I think you only have 26 million, since you care so much about size. And we don't like what was said about Puerto Rico. And we know how to take the trash out, Donald Trump. Trash that has been collecting since 2016. And that's you, Donald Trump. And finally, my fellow Puerto Ricans, Trash Collection Day is November 5th, 2024. Don't forget it.
People who love themselves will definitely feel that as an insult, as an attack, because they love themselves and they have a sense of pride. Only somebody who doesn't love themselves, because they don't have that software in their mind, if you tell them, oh, sorry, it was a joke, they'll be like, oh, it was a joke. Oh, okay. Because they don't have the sixth sense. They don't have the software that loves them. They already don't have that mind that loves and cares and protects them. Only that kind of a fool. But, Puerto Rico and Latinos, I don't think they're going to buy this.
Right now, the campaign is scrambling, and they're trying to blame this rhetoric on a so-called comedian. This is not a comedian. This is the Trump campaign. They invited this rhetoric on their stage for a reason. It was a chorus of speakers on that campaign for a reason. It was vetted, and they knew exactly who was going to say what before they went on. And so the only backtracking that they're doing right now is just because tens of thousands of Puerto Ricans happen to live in Philadelphia, Florida, Michigan, Wisconsin, and also the several swing states in the House of Representatives that run through the state of New York, and they're just realizing that they might have made a big error by saying out loud what they're thinking.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what Puerto Ricans and Latinos are thinking. They're like, oh, these people hate our guts. These people disrespect us. These people don't even care what they say in front of a podium of millions of people, hundreds, thousands, whatever. They're like, and you're going to call that as a joke just because you're trying to backtrack, because you're thinking, oh, we might lose, this backfired on us. They're actually more intelligent than we thought. Oh, they are prideful people. When you insult them, they can get mad and they can show that on your vote. And now they are trying to backtrack it. The thing is, with the words that come out of your mouth, you cannot take them back. No, in Kiswahili we say maji yakimwagika hayazoleki. Like if you pour down milk or any kind of liquid, once it hits the floor, you cannot take it back. And those are like the words, you can't take them back.
My friend made sure to call me to get my views this morning on what I think about last night's rally. I had this pin on my sweater and I took it off.
How many people had that chip on their shoulder, like Trump, Trump, Trump? And then when that rally happened, they're like, I'm taking this off. How many votes?
Blood is boiling right now.
A lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
And they think they can get away with it by saying that it was a joke, but they also joke about us Latinos like to pop babies out. Who do you think you are? You obviously don't know what Puerto Rico is. I wonder what is Nicky Jam and what is Anuel thinking right now. They should be ashamed of themselves because they both endorsed Donald Trump. Do you know what's the garbage that float? You don't know who we are. Donald Trump, you're digging your head into a hole because you're losing the votes of all of Latinos and especially us Puerto Ricans. We want nothing to do with you.
Check this out. Comedian Tony Hitch, Cliff, I'm gonna call him Heathcliff or whatever. Well, check this out. Anybody that's endorsing him, anybody that's partnering with him, we're not messing with you. The Puerto Ricans, Boricua, we're not messing with you. We're not buying anything that's attached to him. So if you are, scoot over. That's all I'm gonna say. Scoot over. We're not buying anything. We're not buying no ticket for comedy. We're not doing any of that. So if you got any brand going on or any deals going on with this guy, cancel it. I'm telling you, we're not only the Boricuas, Latinos in general, because he did mention Latinos as immigrants, as if immigrants are only Latinos. So, but look, Tony, look, respect my country, you hear me? Respect this flag right here. That's all I gotta say.
If you want to know human psychology, is people want to be respected. Respect is one of those human emotions that people crave for. In fact, men especially want to be respected more than loved. If you want to win with people, first you gotta respect them. And the quickest way to alienate people is to show them disrespect. And for me, I'm not going to gaslight anybody into how they feel. You know, if Latinos said they felt disrespected, I would take that as they were disrespected, because I have no interest in gaslighting anybody, you know, into thinking that their insult is a joke, like they're feeling disrespected and insulted, like that's a joke. You know, that's the height of narcissistic gaslighting. I'm not gonna go there. So yeah, I understand, like this guy, if he hasn't voted, and if he votes, he will not vote for Trump for sure, 100%. I can bet my life on it. He's not going to vote for Trump.
What the fuck were you thinking? I mean, if you know him and you know his work and you watch him, it's not very far-pitched from him. But then again, it is. Like, oh my God. Did he just commit career suicide? I know he lost a lot of fans. I know he lost a lot of respect from the Puerto Ricans. Oh my gosh. That was rough. That was rough.
I don't think as a comedian he lost respect, because a lot of people think that if this was on another platform, not a political rally, they think that the jokes could have been okay. It's just that the time and the place was not the right place.
You went far. Even the watermelon joke wasn't funny. That shit wasn't cool. I didn't even laugh. I mean,
This video is not even for the MAGA Puerto Ricans. We already know you guys are so deeply ingrained in this MAGA movement that no matter what Trump says, you will find an excuse for it. Mamabichos por Donald Trump. Literally, that's who you are. This video is for the people that were on the fence, that were seriously considering voting for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris this election cycle. And this comedian, what he said was the thing that tipped you towards Kamala Harris. Why the fuck were you on the fence? Why? If you're one of those rare people...
I know I'm sounding a little too harsh in these last days into the election, but excuse me for not having tolerance for people who, let's say in this particular situation, are surprised that the keynote speaker at Trump's New York rally started his conversation with, Puerto Rico is literally an island of garbage. I don't have tolerance for this idiot, but I have less for the people who are Latino or Latina and still voting for Trump. Don't you get it? They would sooner send you back anywhere. And it's the self-haters that I can't deal with, that I just don't have tolerance for. And I'm going to be like, oh, please vote for Kamala. She's going to hate you, blah, 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 blah. I can't be sweet. It's like, snap out of it. We have a few days left. Vote for Kamala, you fool.
He's like, vote for Kamala, you fool. I get him. I get his frustration. But what he doesn't understand is somebody who doesn't love themselves, they don't have the software in their mind to even read that this was an insult. You get how bad it is when somebody doesn't have the mentality of a self-love. Like, you know, your mind is like your eyes in life, right? Your mind is your eyes in life. So if you're kind of blind to self-love, you don't know how it looks like, of course you're going to be insulted and run to vote for that same party that that insulted you and disrespected you and humiliated you because you don't have self-love in you. It's the same way that you find like abused people live with the abuser, like they stay in the same relationship, and you're like, what? You know, it's because they haven't developed a strong mind of self-love. So I guess why he is frustrated in this video when he says like,
it's the self-haters that I can't deal with, that I just don't have tolerance for. And I'm going to be like, oh, please vote for Kamala. She's going to help you, blah, 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 blah. I can't.
I don't think they hate themselves. They just don't love themselves. I don't think they have that software in their mind that runs their mind in a way that, oh, love yourself, right? Because self-love is something. Self-love is the software in your mind that tells you, and in your heart that tells you, oh, you've been insulted. Oh, this wasn't a joke. You know, that's the software of self-love in your mind that goes like that, right? Obviously, if you're oblivious to insults or you don't read between the lines, things like that, I mean, we can't help you. And I guess his frustration is that, like, you know, like, okay.
Be sweet. It's like, snap out of it. We have a few days left. Vote for Kamala, you fool. Fool. I know there's got to be a more loving way to do this, but I just can't find it.
Let me say this quick, fast, and go to bed. Quick, fast, and go to bed. Puerto Ricans have not had a break since the beninging. Since their beninging with the U.S. have not caught a break. This, calling them garbage, nothing new. Nothing new. You understand why Puerto Ricans love their flag so much? You don't want to know why? Because it was illegal. The U.S. made their flag illegal for a good number of years. This is nothing new. But let me tell you something, brothers and sisters, all my days, Puerto Ricans are resilient. They're strong and they're survivors. Vieques, Calabria, and Puerto Rico, they know nothing but neglect and mistreatment for years, but they're still here. And when I say they're here, I don't mean they're here. I mean they're here. The Puerto Rican people, you can't hurt Puerto Rico. They're here. At the end of the day gonna end, and Puerto Ricans still gonna be here. Okay, bye. Bye.
Tony Hinchcliffe responds to people criticizing. This is what he wrote on X people, right? These people have no sense of humor. Wow, that a vice president candidate would take time out of his busy schedule to analyze a joke taken out of context to make it seem racist. I love Puerto Rico and vacation there. I make fun of everyone. Watch the whole set. I'm a comedian, Tim. Might be time to change your tampon. Now, I'm gonna tell you something right now, man. That's low-key doing some damage control.
A lot of comedians, you know, they know that. They know that if you're going to attack a group of people with your jokes, you know, and you want their votes, you had better say something nice. You know, you want to scintillate them. You want to get their votes. You don't want to run them out, you know. It's a very, very bad strategy.
Floating pile of garbage in the middle of the ocean. Primarily, I think it's really interesting that this analogy is being used in support of a campaign that refuses to acknowledge the literal garbage patches in the Pacific Ocean because they refuse to acknowledge the corporate incentivized degradation of the environment or climate change or anything related to the sort. But that it's always the people actively dehumanizing Puerto Ricans.
Just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization seems unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done, everything we've done. Now, Trump has tried to divide the country based on race, ethnicity, anything that does harm. to take their eye off the ball about what the terrible things he's done and will do.
Biden got upset in his rambling. He also called Trump supporters garbage.
So in early 2020, right before the COVID shutdown started, my family decided to go take a family vacation. And we found this island of floating garbage. And we spent a lot of money on the garbage and the people who lived around the garbage. And this is what it looked like. Yeah. At a Trump rally yesterday, somebody had the audacity to call Puerto Rico an island of garbage. Vote blue, up and down the ballots. Thanks.
That just put it in the bag for us. He literally just gave us the win.
If our island is garbage, never mind those election people that are running for it. For me, they are garbage too.
I don't think he really understands what he's talking about when he's talking about Puerto Rico's garbage.
It's a joke that gave a real bad taste in my mouth because I'm Puerto Rican.
Obviously, he doesn't know history and how much Puerto Ricans have done for this country, including serving in the military.
Todos somos humanos, todos somos hermanos. No para estar hablando así, mentira. Ese es un racismo.
He said it the wrong way, wrong time and wrong place.
Pero a él le falta el respeto a la comunidad boricua, ¿tú me entiendes? Y para mí, eso fue una falta de respeto y ética.
He has no idea how hard the Latin community is about to come after and support Kamala Harris.
I remember Trump called, like developing countries shithole countries. What I'll say is this. There's this one woman who said that people don't have to love you. People don't have to even respect you. But when you look in the mirror, you had better love what you see. You had better love what you see. So that's what I'm going to tell you, I hope you love yourself. Because when people don't love you or respect you and you love yourself and you respect yourself and you honor yourself and you stand up for yourself and you tell them, hey, I am not garbage, you're garbage, stupid, they will understand.
I don't have tolerance for this idiot, but I have less for the people who are Latino or Latina and still voting for Trump. Don't you get it? They would sooner send you back anywhere. And it's the self-haters that I can't deal with, that I just don't have tolerance for. And I'm going to be like, oh, please vote for Kamala. She's going to...
You first must love yourself. Otherwise, it's very dangerous to move around life not loving yourself, having no clue that other people, really despise you. You better love yourself and have the common sense, the intelligence to see that you live in an environment that you must master. Like, we all have to be masters of our own environment. But you cannot master your environment if you do not have any self-love, self-respect, self-regard. If you don't have that, nobody can give you that. And that's why I make these videos, to show you how that looks like. If you're coming from a place of childhood trauma, neglect, and you don't have that software in your mind, like that kind of stronghold of self-love is in there in your mind, we want to build that because it protects you, from your enemies. It protects you from making mistakes. I'm going to end there because I feel like I'll go on and on and on. I hope you get I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So thanks again for tuning in to Bloom. My name is Kanini, and until next time, may God bless you.